Good morning from day 47. There is rain expected today and tomorrow and possibly the day after. It cleared up a little bit last night. Very happy to be hunkered down in the shelter. The plan is we're aiming for a shelter in a couple of days' time where it's supposed to be a really nice shelter, and apparently there is a phone there that you can order pizza to be delivered, which is a bit random, but that's 30 miles away. Sorry, just need to open a gate. So apparently you can order pizza to this shelter, and that's about 30 miles away. So the plan for today and tomorrow is essentially just 30 miles over the 2 days. Today may end up being a shorter day just because of the fact that the rain might be coming in, but also most of us are a little beaten up. The Grayson Highlands were lovely, but most of us, because of the rain that came down, sorry, I'm just going over a bridge, over a lovely little river, but yeah, because of the rain, I think because of the rain that was coming down, the path was relatively slippy, and we went over some things lovely, like Fat Man Squeeze and a few other bits and bobs that were a little bit tricky. So there was a few falls, a few spills. I fell on my butt and smacked my ankle a bit, so that's a bit sore today. Just bruised, luckily. Skin's broken slightly, but nothing too concerning. But our feet took a pounding, and everyone's a little achy and sore. So today may end up being a little shorter than tomorrow. But also, sometimes once you get walking, you shake off those aches and pains fairly quickly. So chances are we might end up with another relatively biggish day, maybe 17 miles or so, to leave us a shorter hike into that pizza shelter. But yeah, that's what it is. Again, with rain expected, I don't know how much footage I'll get of the day, but I'll try and capture what I can. Still loving it, still really enjoying this, even if yesterday was a little rough on the feet and ankles and my boot. But yeah, it's Grayson Highlands were, I mean, we're not through it yet, but what we saw yesterday, in my opinion, was beautiful, and I did very much enjoy the scenery, even if it was a little wet, a little exposed, a little slippy, a little tough on the feet. Still very much enjoyable. But yeah, anyway, day 47, happy hiking. I was so mad at them. It's funny how little things can make such a difference out here. So, I didn't take any footage, but I may steal some of the others and insert it before this. So if it's there, great. If not, heading down, up and over the mountain, drenched, not particularly cold because it's not that. Temperatures like mid 50s or whatever, or low 50s, I guess. But everything's getting damp and wet, and we stopped off in a shelter and talked about maybe not pushing for a campsite and stopping short in a shelter to try and stay dry. And spirits were okay, but we were all a little bit meh. So the plan is to go what would be make it an 11 point, basically an 11 mile day, and then we'll push a 19 mile day tomorrow. But that's still the plan. But maybe half a mile after the shelter, we've just put back on our wet raincoat. My poncho, and others have put their rain jackets and whatever back on. Nothing's really dry. Nobody's really warm. Again, I'm not particularly fussed by it, but I wasn't. I certainly wasn't toasty. So we kind of trudged down the mountain, and we get to the gap at the bottom, and waiting there is Fresh Grounds and the Leapfrog Cafe. So I've mentioned it before. Fresh Grounds is a trail angel who distributes some of the best trail magic you can get, and we haven't seen him in, as people like to say, a hot minute. He was kind of stopping in and around us for a while back there, and then we didn't get to him in Fontana Dam, and apparently he was waiting for us at Fontana Dam, and we didn't know that he was specifically waiting for us, and we got a lift up to Fontana Village and checked into what was one of our first days or nights in a hotel room on trail, and we desperately needed showers and whatever, but we didn't think he was waiting for us, and so we didn't show up. He then messaged Sassafras because he had her number, found out what rooms we were staying in at the village, and drove up and gave us the leftovers he had, and I think I showed it in a previous video. So there was some toasted bread and some fruit, and it was great. We were like, oh, this is amazing, thank you. But then we haven't seen him since, and I thought that maybe because he was waiting for us, he was mad at us because we didn't show up. But that's not the case. He was just pushing forward with groups who were doing bigger miles and further forward. And he's circled back a little bit, and he came to us, and we had a lot of chatting and a lot of banter, and it was just great to see him. I think we would consider him a friend more than just someone who feeds us, although he does feed us. And today was sloppy joes and some salad and coffee, and it was great. None of us were hungry because we'd not long stopped for lunch, a rather cold, wet, damp squib of a lunch. But despite none of us being hungry, I think we all had 2 sloppy joes, and I know I had 2 helpings of salad and 3 cups of coffee, and sat there shooting the shit basically with him. And then there were some people who have never been fed by Fresh Grounds, like Mountain Goat. She rocked in and was ecstatic to see him. Again, he is pretty famous and lots of people look forward to seeing him. So that was a real treat for her, and for us to see her reaction, and for him to see her reaction. But yeah, it's funny how, and I said this to him, the food's great, but what he delivers in terms of friendship and companionship, and some shelter and a fire to sit down at and dry it, and just all round the all-round presence, more than just hey, he cooks good food, really warms, for want of a better word, the heart as well as the stomach. And it's fantastic to it was tough to leave because that fire was warm and we were dry, but we're just pushing on like another 3-4 miles or whatever it is to the next shelter and we'll stop. But it sounds like maybe we'll see him again over the next few days at least, and that's awesome. Not least because hopefully it means that he's not mad at us, which is great, because I was really worried that he was mad. And yeah, like I say, little things can make such a difference. And I've gone from being not grumpy, but like just a little bit, you know, wet and damp, and you know, spirits a little bit down, to positively cheery despite the rain that's coming down. And not all of it is because of caffeine, but maybe some of it. Yeah, so just again a shout out to people who do trail magic in general. It makes such a difference to have, you know, a dry place to sit, somebody kind who's with some nice words, you know, some food or a drink or whatever. It's always appreciated, or certainly by me. And again, of all the trail magics that I have experienced, you know, Fresh Grounds is something else. Just, he is truly an angel, and yeah, definitely raised my spirits. So hopefully I'll have some footage I can steal off one of the others. I was too busy stuffing my face and drinking coffee to go and get my camera out of my waterproof pocket. But yeah, hopefully I'll get that and I'll have it inserted before or after this. All right, hiking onwards.
Is it good?
When I get home. Yeah.
So the toast has.
How's your first sloppy Joe?
Good to have
You're
some of
special.
our old peeps.
Yeah.
Haven't been since Georgia, right?
Yeah.